Hey, we're live, pal.
Oh, we're live? I
We
was
are
just making a
indeed.
poll. I'm making a poll asking the people who's going to win Saturday? Who's going to win Saturday's main event? Following the weigh-ins that you guys are watching now, let's just throw this into the chat. I see some people saying, is the time right? 1 in the morning Eastern time? It is right. So if you're here, guys, you're watching the UFC 308 official weigh-ins live stream. You heard the voice of the great Jose Youngs. He is on site, of course, as always. And he's been bringing you great coverage, great video, great quotes, great interviews, just bringing it all the way. So thank you, Jose. And this is Alexander K. Lee who is talking. I am not in Abu Dhabi. I am in North York, Ontario. So come say
Close
what's up.
enough. That's the Abu Dhabi of Canada, right?
Close enough. Yeah, yeah. Jose, you've been a true road warrior. Saudi
Mm-hmm.
Arabia last week, Abu Dhabi this week. Uh, and you've got to see some incredible fights. I mean, and now you're going to see maybe the biggest fight, not the biggest, I'm sorry, maybe the best fight of the year, Ilia Topuria versus Max Holloway. I don't think that's hyperbole, um, but we'll see.
Well,
Just put a vote who's going to win the main event.
definitely seems to be
Was
the
that Jose?
consensus among the media, for sure. The best fight.
Sure, sure. Yeah, I feel like we said this when Volkanovski fought Topuria. I feel like when the featherweights are involved, you're getting a really good main event. You're getting a really good title fight. So I think the second, I want to say was the second or third. Well, I mean the whole Volkanovski Holloway series, we were all like, man, this is incredible. There was
Yeah.
chills when those guys stepped in the case together. So yes, the featherweight title, it's hard to keep, and one Mr. Topuria might not hold on to it long past this week. I see a lot of people, a lot of Max love, but not in our votes so far. Very, very early returns. Considerable lead for Topuria, but we're not even at like 20 votes yet. So wait for people to populate the stream, populate the chat, populate the poll. We're about 5 minutes away from showtime, guys. If you need to run to the washroom, get yourself a coffee. I don't know where you are, where you're watching from. Get comfortable. Take your time. We got people coming up.
Hello to the people
If
on
you're here,
Facebook as well.
hello to the people on Facebook. I'm only monitoring the YouTube chat, so feel free to talk all the crap about me that you want on Facebook. I will not see it, unfortunately. No one has missed anything, guys. No one has weighed in yet. If you are here already, please let us know in the chat who you think is going to weigh in first. I will not be surprised if it's Topuria or Holloway, or I might be a little surprised if it's
The
Holloway,
only
but
the only one I've seen so far is Jeff Neal was standing over to the right for a while, just kind of watching,
all
but
right.
I doubt he's first. So, but I've seen him.
I hope he's early because let's not forget Jeff Neal has had one bad weight miss on his resume when he fought Shavkat, missed
Hmm.
weight by 4 pounds. So not his best moment, but that was 2 fights
You
ago.
wanna? We were talking
Yeah.
yesterday, considering we don't know who will be doing the weights, right? Because usually Mr. Mark Ratner does it, but I haven't seen him. Is Mark Ratner
Hmm.
here? Is Mark Ratner here? I haven't seen him at all, but usually when he does it, we were joking about like, what's the time between hitting the scale and like sliding the thing over? We all probably say like
Yeah.
half a second.
Yep. Definitely. Jose, I have a fun fact for
Also, before you say
Rafael
that,
dos Anjos.
before you say
Yes.
that, I just want because you might ask. Uh, I believe it's still the hour. They're going to shoot for the hour window like they have been doing. Yeah, it's an hour window in
Oh,
Vegas.
is that true?
That's what. Who told you yesterday? Because I was with you when you asked. Chris Costello, USPR, Mike Bond asked, and I was standing next to Mike Bond, so I heard peripherally that they're
Okay.
shooting for the 1 hour.
I will say the PR schedule we were given, or that they were given to you, that you passed on to us, did say it just says 2 hour window, but that doesn't
Yeah,
mean. But you're right.
but I think they're
Maybe
gonna.
that
I
means
think
the
it's gonna be like,
one plus
yeah,
one.
yeah. I think it's gonna be they're shooting for one, and if you need extra time, you get that second hour.
Yeah. Yeah. So for anyone who hasn't been tuning into weigh-ins, yes, that is something they started doing regularly in Las Vegas. Was try to get everyone in that first hour and save that second hour only if you need to weigh in again. We had some exceptions. I believe it was Mateusz Nicolau this past weekend, who
was in traffic.
Was just stuck in traffic. Yeah, he was stuck in traffic, so he just couldn't make it to the weigh-ins. So he was allowed to weigh in the second hour, and it was fine. No problem, no incident there. But yeah,
did he win? I missed that entire fight card because I was.
He did not win.
I was in Saudi Arabia.
He lost to a member of my UFC fantasy team, Asu Almabayev. So
sure,
there you go. Sure. If there's one thing I know people love, it's hearing about other people's fantasy teams. So I'll try to talk about that as much as possible. I know when people come to me talking about their fantasy football team, oh my gosh, I am wrapped with attention. All right, I'm calling it. I think we're going to see the champ first. I imagine a lot of people, you're all tuned in to see also Khamzat fighting for the first time in over a year. The second time since September 2022, if I'm not mistaken. Hold on, wait a minute. That doesn't sound right. Sorry, guys, I don't mean to give you fake news. No, I was right. First fight since October 21st. Second fight since September 10th. So I don't need to, guys. We don't need to go over the history of Khamzat Chimaev and his. Oh, here we go.
I just hear John Anik's doing a TV spot behind me, and he just screamed to call me off guard.
Oh, okay. I hear him.
There's a lot of media here. Holy cow.
It's a big event. A lot of familiar faces?
No, literally not at all. Like, there's a few that I obviously recognize from, like, there's a lot of Russian media here that I recognize from Fight Island and various other Abu Dhabi cards, but there are a lot of media that I've never seen before. Obviously here for Dumpling.
The crazy Hawaiian. No, I'm sorry. What was his name? I apologize. What's the guy's name?
That is exactly what his name is. That is his legal name.
Oh, he is the crazy Hawaiian.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought I got it. It was a Manic or something. Okay, cool. Good nickname. I mean, good legal name.
That's not his legal name, but I'm choosing to. I see someone, so I'm zooming in.
Sure. It could be.
There you go.
If you want it to be.
Ilia. It is Ilia is first.
Yeah, this is no surprise. Assuming that he is, yeah, there he is. I'm going to shut the F up when this guy comes on, when the featherweight champion comes on. So don't worry, people. We can chat later, but I don't think you need to hear from me. I think you want to hear this noise here.
He's ready to go. Oh, wow, that's a lot of cameras behind me. I stood up to look to see, am I in anyone's way? And I looked down the barrel of about 6 phones, 4 cameras.
The answer is yes.
All right, thank y'all for being here for the official weigh-in for UFC 308 Topuria versus Holloway, and we begin with the champion around whom this fight card is built, making the first defense of his undisputed UFC featherweight championship, Ilia Topuria. .145, the official weight for the champion, Ilia Topuria. All right, next athlete to the stage is the other man around whom this fight card was built, a man who needs no introduction, former UFC featherweight champion, the BMF belt holder, and the future UFC Hall of Famer, Max Blessed Holloway. .145, the official weight for Max Holloway. And with that, your UFC 308 championship main event is now official. All right, next athlete set to weigh in this morning, the number 10 ranked UFC welterweight in the world, Geoff Hands of Steel Neal. $171, the official weight for Geoff Neal. All right, next man up, one of the best light heavyweights in the world, the number 5 ranked contender, competing live on the pay-per-view main card, Aleksandar Rakic. $206, the official weight for Aleksandar Rakic. All right, back to the welterweight division now as we say hello to Rinat Fakhretdinov. $171, the official weight for Rinat Fakhretdinov. All right, next athlete set to weigh in this morning, competing in a preliminary bout in the middleweight division, Abu Magomedov. $185 for Abu Magomedov. All right, next fighter to hit the scale, competing at a catch weight of 160 pounds, Myktybek Orolbai. $159, the official weight for Myktybek Orolbai. All right, next fighter to weigh in this morning, competing live on pay-per-view, the number 12 ranked featherweight in the world, still undefeated, Lerone the Miracle Murphy. $145.5, the official weight for Lerone Murphy. Next man up, set to make his UFC debut in the welterweight division, live on ESPN Plus, Carlos Leal.
Carlos Leal.
$169.5 for Carlos Leal. All right, next fighter to the stage, competing in the middleweight division, back for the first time in a long time, Ismael Nawardier. $185 for Ismael Nawardier. All right, next fighter to weigh in, competing in the heavyweight division, back for the first time in a couple years, Chris Barnett. $264, the official weight for Chris Barnett. All right, next man to the scale, competing in the featured prelim in the light heavyweight division, Rafael Cerqueira. $203, the official weight for Rafael Cerqueira. All right, next fighter to the scale, initially contracted at bantamweight, now competing in a featherweight prelim, Victor Hugo. $145.5, the official weight for Victor Hugo. All right, next man to the stage is the #1 ranked light heavyweight contender. Compete live on pay-per-view. He is Magomed Ankalaev. $204.5, the official weight for the #1 contender, Magomed Ankalaev. All right, next fighter to the scale, competing at a catchweight 160 pounds, Mateusz Rebecki. $160 on the nose, the official weight for Mateusz Rebecki. All right, next man to the scale, competing in the UFC's heavyweight division here on Saturday night, Kennedy Nzechukwu. 241, the official weight for Kennedy and Nzechukwu. All right, next man to the scale, the other half of the featured prelim in the light heavyweight division, Ibo Aslan. .205, the official weight for Ibo Aslan.
I think we hit our first break, AK. I have no idea.
All right, I was gonna say, people taking that first hour weigh-in real serious. We had a big flurry there. Jose, yeah, we have neither Robert Whittaker nor Khamzat Chimaev, but for anyone tuning in, we did have Ilia Topuria and Max Holloway both weigh in 145 on the dot. So as of now, your featherweight championship main event is official. I will send Jose a little graphic thingy here, and when he gets a chance, he'll throw that up for you. But just know, guys, no one has missed weight. We've had a few peculiarities, which I will describe in a moment. Sorry, guys. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. We know it is a very strange time of night for some of you in several time zones. For those of you who are watching in close to local time where Jose is, congrats. Hope you're enjoying. You deserve it. I'm sure you guys have to stay up at strange hours sometimes to keep up with a lot of MMA. So there you go. We will say we have a catch weight bout. This is new. I was trying to look to see if this had been mentioned before. I did not see any indication this was previously reported. But yes, the preliminary lightweight bout between Mateusz, Rebecki, and Myktybek Orolbai is now a 160-pound catch weight bout.
Next fighter to the stage, competing in the featherweight division, Farid Basharat.
For now. And this man's bout with Victor Hugo is a featherweight bout. Him and Hugo normally competing at 135, but this is a featherweight weigh-in.
.137, the official weight for Farid Basharat.
Whoa, Basharat at 137. So we can guess maybe it was to accommodate his opponent, Victor Hugo. Let me double check, guys, here. Was Hugo some sort of replacement or something? Maybe he was.
I don't think so.
Not as far as I know. Anyway, no, not as far as I know. So that is apparently a featherweight bout now, but I don't know. Farid didn't look super happy either, so I'm not sure what happened there. This does appear to be a featherweight bout, though. It is listed as a featherweight bout on the UFC.com weigh-in page, I believe. Let me just double-check that real quick. It isn't, actually. But we didn't hear a lot of kerfuffle when Hugo weighed in at 145.5, so we will... Got a little asterisk here. Let's see if they explain what the hell happened here. They may have read Hugo's weight wrong. Okay, interesting. Interesting, guys. I think we may have had a misreading of the weight. Let me, because it definitely said 145.5 before. It says, if you check UFC News, they tweeted out 145.5. We heard 145.5. We tweeted out 145.5. But now, if you go to the UFC.com page now, it says 135.5. So this means Farid missed weight for a bantamweight bout. Okay, this is super confusing. We will get you guys updated as soon as possible. Jose, if anyone can clear up what the hell just happened there, please let us know. Because that is.
Can you say which name? Which name am I looking for?
And we'll put it. Yeah, if you have a chance.
Which name?
For Basharat and Hugo. What's going on with that? both of them, it's kind of weird. Did Basharat miss, and is Hugo, did he come in 135 or 145? Jose is on that, guys. We'll get back to you in a second. Yeah, that was very confusing. People in the chat, I'm not crazy, right? You guys heard 145.5 for Hugo. Thank you. I see Joseph Boza. You heard that, right? You said and you're saying John Anik said it was a featherweight bout. So and it didn't look like Farid. He felt like he missed, so he looked like he was in for catchweight bout. Very strange, guys. But yes, just hear about that again. Whittaker, Khamzat not within yet.
So it's a featherweight fight now, and Basharat made weight. All right.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, so,
thanks, man.
So someone is playing. All right, so we were right before John Anik had we had it right that everyone else who posted 145 had it right. It is a catch. Or so that is weird one. We'll again, but Jose has asked. We are being told it is featherweight bout. Looks like he's in people more. Yes, contender out at light heavyweight, though Ankalaev is already the #1 contender. Very strange making him fight again for that. Plus, Rakic entering this fight is on a 2-fight losing streak, so it seems kind of messed up that he wins one fight against Ankalaev, who is like undefeated in I think 12 straight fights, and then Rakic just takes his spot. I mean, I know this is the fight game. What have you done for me lately? But even by those standards, that's a pretty messed up thing to do. Either way, definitely a huge fight with title implications. So they have both weighed in. I'll say that again. Ankalaev 204.5, Rakic 206. Lerone Murphy on the main card, 145.5, but we are still waiting for main card fighters Danny Ige, Shara Bullet, and Armen Petrosyan. Prelims have filled up pretty quickly. We've got a bout between Ibo Aslan and Rafael Sakera. That is official. Sakera actually coming in a little bit light at 203. Jeff Neal was in at 171. We're waiting on RDA, but this is a welterweight bout. I would be very surprised if RDA was even close to missing weight. He is just, I think, enjoying the benefits of fighting at a more natural weight class. So I don't expect to see RDA anytime soon. At least not within the next, I don't know, 20 minutes. I would say he just doesn't have to. He's probably enjoying a nice breakfast. Who else do we got here, guys? Oh, yes. Mateusz, Rebecki, and Myktybek Orolbai apparently fighting in a 160-pound catchweight bout. I'm pretty sure that was just announced now because Orolbai came in at 159 and Rebecki came in at 160. Also official, Kennedy and Nzechukwu moving up to heavyweight. Sorry, guys, had a little computer notification. Moving up to heavyweight, he came in at 241. Chris Barnett at 264. Kennedy's had some tough luck at 205, so I don't know if it's a permanent move, maybe just kind of trying to refresh things, but has not had as much success, I think, at light heavyweight as he had hoped. So we'll see what happens at heavyweight. Excuse me. He was supposed to fight Justin Tafa. Justin Tafa withdrew for undisclosed reasons, and Chris Barnett, who was forced to withdraw from a recent bout because of travel issues related to
we got movement
in Florida. He has stepped in. So we got all right. Let's go. Chris Barnett 264, and and this Basharat Hugo thing is apparently it's all good.
All right, next fighter to weigh in this morning, charged with kicking off the pay-per-view main card of the middleweight division, Armen Petrosyan. 186, the official weight for Armen Petrosyan.
Let's see if we have another pause here. That was Armen Petrosyan, 186. Apologies for the audio problems before, guys. Not sure. I think it's just my internet.
Yeah, you
or something
bugged.
going on
You
with my
bugged out a little
Chrome
bit.
updating or wanting to update.
You bugged out a little bit, so you should
I heard I was tripping out.
You should restate the featherweight, bantamweight stuff because that's kind of where you bugged out.
Oh gosh, that was hard enough to understand as I was saying it, and I could hear myself. Okay, so as Jose has noted, he went and asked because Victor Hugo weighed in at 145.5 earlier, and so we all thought, okay, maybe that bout with Farid Basharat was moved up to a featherweight bout because they're both normally bantamweights. But, things happen, and we just saw another bout change to a catchweight. So Victor Hugo, 145.5. Farid Basharat comes on a bit later and comes in at 137.
All right,
so
next fighter to
under
the
the featherweight
scale is
limit.
an
Did not
absolute
look very
UFC
happy
legend,
with
the
the situation.
former undisputed UFC middleweight champion competing in the co-main event live on pay-per-view. Now the number 3 ranked contender, Robert the Reaper Whittaker. $185.5, the official weight for Robert Whittaker.
$185 frame, might have missed. The Reaper taking on Khamzat Chimaev, fingers crossed. Let me just get out that last note real quick, guys. Farid Basharat, Victor Hugo, apparently is a featherweight bout. Both guys normally bantamweights. Basharat came in 137, Hugo 145.5. A little bit of confusion there because Basharat was so close to the bantamweight limit. But as far as we have been told, as Jose Youngs has been told on site,
as John Anik noted, good thing he weighed 137 because then he would have been out of the weight class if he was a little lower.
Right. Okay, that's true. Right. You wouldn't even be a featherweight. Okay. So he weighed in at the minimum. Yeah, didn't look happy about it. Don't know if this is a late change. I'm purely speculating here that maybe something happened with Hugo and they were said let's just bump it up to featherweight.
What was
not
what
ideal?
Was what was Robert Whittaker?
Because Farid again 137 probably cut quite a bit of weight. 185.5, and as usual, I will try and send you 185.5. I will send those graphics to Rich and make it completely outdated. So
don't worry. By the time you get it over, someone will come out.
But we can't be discouraged. Let's do it anyway. Maybe we, of course, maybe we can summon Khamzat. This is our. We'll summon Khamzat. Put everyone's like worries away. Everyone's like, oh my gosh, is Khamzat gonna make weight? And is he even gonna make it? I'm sure. I guarantee.
Oh, don't.
If my name is not Alexander Kaylee, if my name is not the Prince of Positivity, I guarantee Khamzat Chimaev will successfully weigh in and fight on Saturday. I guarantee it, Jose.
Are you willing to bet?
I guarantee it. No. No. I'm betting my reputation, which is the most valuable thing I have.
That doesn't mean anything these days.
Elner, you're asking. Elner is asking, was Basharat overweight? No, he weighed in 137 for a featherweight bout. It is now a featherweight bout. It's extremely confusing, and I'm sure we tweeted out, and people who are really paying attention to the Basharat Hugo matchup were like, what the hell just happened there? Hopefully they listen to the stream. I will explain it on the website when I do the recap for the card, because yes, we have a couple of catchweights. Or sorry, we have one bout change to featherweight. We have a catchweight bout. Joseph Boza, okay, AK, I don't believe Khamzat happens to that cage slam shut tomorrow. Stuff your sorries in the seconds there. I'm telling you Khamzat, Mr. Reliable, I always say.
There you go,
Mr.
AK.
Reliable. But yes, we have plenty of names left to go. There we wow. How do you do that? Right on cue.
I'm great.
Right on cue. Yes, as you guys can see, I'll read real quick. Ilia Topuria, Max Holloway,
Oh,
UFC
oh
308.
someone started to move on.
Featherweight
I got
championship
real
main event.
stressed out.
Topuria's first defense. Holloway trying to regain that title. Both men at Nick Ball. Shout out to Nick Ball. Great Nick. Asking, is Abu Dhabi using the new 1 hour win window? Yes, according to Jose, they have been told it is the 1 hour win window plus an extra hour if you need it to make weight, but they are trying to get everyone in the first hour. That's sort of the new protocol. Ilia Topuria, Max Holloway, 145 for the main event. We just saw Robert Whittaker, former middleweight champion, 185.5. We are, as always, waiting for one, Mr. Khamzat Chimaev. Big light heavyweight fight, Magomed Ankalaev, 204.5, Aleksandar Rakic, 206. Lerone Murphy, also a lot of stakes here, and this man can sneak into the featherweight title picture. I mean, 6-0-1 in the UFC, some great performances. Lerone Murphy, 145.5. He takes on the always game Dan Ige, coming off that crazy 165-pound catchweight bout on I think 3 minutes notice or something. That was insane with Diego Lopez. So Dan Ige back on the main card where he belongs. Shara Bullet, we're still waiting for him, but his opponent, Armen Petrosyan, has weighed in 186. Your featured prelim between Ibo Aslan and Rafael Sequeira. Aslan 205, Sequeira 203, coming a little light. Geoff Neal 171 and waiting for a former lightweight champion RDA. Not a lot of worries there as far as whether RDA will make weight. There's a lot of room to work with. Mateusz Rebecki and Myktybek Orolbai, 160-pound catchweight bout apparently. Rebecki 160, Orolbai 159. Abus Magomedov 185. We're still waiting on Brunno Ferreira. Kennedy and Nzechukwu moving up to heavyweight for a moment. 241. Chris Barnett 264. I see some fiddling with the scale. Farid Basharat 137. Victor Hugo 145.5. Not going to go over that again. Ismail
in a welterweight prelim on the eve of his 40th birthday. The future Hall of Famer, former undisputed UFC lightweight champion, Rafael dos Anjos.
And Anik spoiled my fun fact.
$171, the official weight for Rafael dos Anjos.
$171 for RDA, and yes, as John Anik noted, his birthday is October 26th. He will be celebrating his birthday in Abu Dhabi with a UFC fight. Pretty. I don't know. Fun fact: he'll turn 40 years young. Turn 40 years young on Saturday. Excuse me. Let's read out some RDA facts here, guys. Big hat tip, of course, to Michael Carroll and Mike Bond over at MMA Junkie, who always do a great pre-event facts thing, and I steal from it gleefully. So
Never heard of him.
Props to them for keeping this database of stuff. Never heard of him. I mean, I keep a database, but I don't keep a database like most knockouts things that.
I do too. It's called my brain.
Not the featured prelim anymore. I think early schedules had that as featured prelim, but they will not. Yeah. RDA, this will be his 36th UFC appearance, only the 5th fighter in UFC history. A decision loss to Mateusz Gamrot. That was like his last fight at lightweight. I think he went back down to test it. He sounded like he was pretty firm about moving up to 170. But, they offered a top 10 guy. I think you have to take that fight. Now I think he's forever long he stays in the UFC. I'm pretty sure he's planning to stay at 170, and more power to him. He's done everything you can at 155. There is there's really no huge reason for him to stay there. He's speaking of lightweight, the 6th lightweight to make 20 appearances in the UFC, and he went 16-9, including 2 catchweight bouts in that division. So RDA, man, 32-16 as a pro. He's got almost 50 pro fights, so this will be 49. So he fight number 49, and yes, appearance number 36 in the UFC. What a guy! What a legend! Future Hall of Famer. Got really nothing bad to say about RDA, and just really putting on quality performances pretty much every time he goes out there. I'm going to assume he's the underdog against Geoff Neal. Let's see what kind of odds we got here. Heavy underdog. Minus 310 favorite is Geoff Neal. Plus 250 underdog is RDA. So, people bet accordingly. I would say don't bet because MMA is insane. Anything can happen. But if you are the gambling kind, hey, maybe you want to sprinkle a little on old RDA. I'm not going to send you an update yet, Jose, because I'm going to wait. Someone's going to come out. I want to talk to the people too. I want to talk to people. And those people, I also want you to start sending in questions now, guys, because normally I used to wait until we saw a bunch of weigh-ins. Theoretically, we might only have half an hour left if everyone comes in and does their job. So what questions you got, guys? If you have them on Facebook, Jose, you may have to send them to me. But Facebook, YouTube, send in your questiones.
Here's a question for you from Facebook.
And hopefully look free.
You ready?
Hit me. Here we go.
It's very complicated.
Yeah.
What happened? That's the end of that's the whole question.
Can I read it? Where is it? Can I read this? Wait, where?
It's I have.
Did they ask what happened or what's happening?
No, just what happened.
Okay.
That's it. It is from.
I mean, that's a complicated question.
Let me see if I can throw this.
Yeah, what happened? I mean, how much time do you have?
Jesus. Can you see it on our screen?
Jesus,
as I say that, we actually have movement now. So. Oh Lord.
There you go. Thank you, Jose. Hey, Jesus. Thank you. That we can thank Jesus for bringing out another fighter.
It's true.
All right, next fighter,
maybe it's Khamzat.
The scale competing in a prelim on ESPN Plus in the middleweight division, Brunno the Hulk Ferreira.
It's not Khamzat.
So many Brunnos, so many Ferreiras.
Brunno, that's why blindado. I prefer to go blindado for the other Brunno.
$185.5, the official weight for Brunno Ferreira.
$185.5, and his bout with Abus Magomedov is now official. We are just waiting on Khamzat, Dan Ige, Shara Magomedov, Blindado Silva, and my tally is correct. That is it, guys. Sorry, I do want to ask a question. We'll get this. Two things. Who was asking? Niner Empire 101. How much time left for Chimaev? Okay, so they're using the 1 hour plus 1 hour chance you're over. The second hour is your chance to weigh in again. Now, again, I don't know if there's a hard and fast rule. I think they've strongly encouraged it. So far, fighters have mostly adhered to it. We literally last weekend he showed up. He made his Nicolau his first attempt, and he flew away. I don't recall it being too long. He had told he was just stuck in traffic and too far past the first hour. I think it was.
Okay, you sound like a robot again.
Maybe it doesn't feel like he was trying to rule. Again, they are trying to get people in there. So there's should an hour. The P so far, even this one, I am the sense I get, or from what I've heard, this is more of a guideline. I don't think that's the case. They're just trying to either move things along or again kind of have people mess around less with weigh-ins. The Last Stand 001. Thank you for the super chat. How that's gonna make it, right? Yeah, of course it's gonna make it. Why would anyone have any questions? Okay, guys, I want to say, let's see what else we got here. Oh, I don't know what's going on with my audio. It's probably more of an internet issue than a microphone issue. So I could disconnect. Let me check with Jose here before you guys see me disappear. Jose, should I try disconnecting here?
We can hear you right now. Right now, you're fine.
All right, I'm just gonna do it, and then I will. Yeah, they can hear me, but yeah, but I hear it's going in and out, or it's kind of
little robot-y.
Anyway, people, I guess I'll just have to deal with it. Jose, I'm gonna send you the weights again. We're gonna summon Khamzat. We are gonna summon Khamzat.
Fingers crossed.
We're gonna do this for the people. Fingers crossed. All right. So we'll have a little update graphic for you guys in a moment. Joseph Boza, will Dana give Magomed the title shot if he beats Rakic tomorrow? I mean, I feel like we answered this question the last time Magomed fought and the time before that. Like, he should have given him the title shot. He does not like Magomed Ankalaev for whatever reason. You can trace it to. I think he seems to think Ankalaev is like, just based on his name, is one of those like Russian wrestler types who's not super exciting, which isn't true. I think we have so much evidence of Ankalaev being a very good striker.
I think the fight against Jan Blachowicz didn't do him any favors, unfortunately.
The Jan fight. Yeah, I was gonna say that's the other reason he hated the Jan fight. It ended in a draw, which apparently by default made that terrible. But again, I think you guys watched that fight. That was a good fight. That wasn't like a terrible fight. So I don't know. I guess there were moments that fight he didn't like, and the fact that there wasn't a definitive winner, he felt Jan and probably more Ankalaev kind of dropped the ball there, kind of didn't seize their opportunity. But that was a really good fight. Like, Ankalaev is a pretty exciting fighter. He had the Thiago Santos fight, I think, is one that people hold against him as being kind of.
There you go. Okay. Is that the one you just sent me?
There you go, guys. There's your little I have no idea. Yes.
I don't think you
we're
added
only
Brunno
waiting for
Silva.
4 names. Chimaev, Danny Gate.
I don't think you updated Brunno Silva though.
We don't have Blindado Silva.
Oh, there's multiple. Yeah, I always get these all confused.
We have Brunno
Silva.
Yes.
Too many Brunnos, too many Silvas, too many Ferreiras.
Yes. It's very confusing. And there's 2 Brunno Silvas. There's the flyweight Brunno Silva. There's Bulldog Silva
from Arizona.
So incredibly confusing. 9 Empire 101 again. How do the UAE cards do in pay-per-view sales with early start times? Guys, no way to tell. I don't know if you guys noticed, we don't really get reliable pay-per-view numbers anymore. A lot of it's just kept really in-house. It's hard to find out through the ESPN, because this is also, there's an extra layer of, it's now through ESPN Plus subscription, guys. It's not direct through a pay-per-view provider anymore. So my understanding is it would usually probably have to be ESPN that have to release those numbers, and for whatever reason they're not inclined to. Especially, I think, if it's not a massive success, why would they? Why would they tout that? So unfortunately, there are no official numbers, guys, like we used to get, and you just got to take the UFC's word for it. But at own risk, I would say, right? Because you're talking about going to the company touting its own success as a reliable source, and I'm not saying the UFC is not successful, not saying they don't sell 100,000 pay-per-views, but again, what company is going to say we failed at something? So, with a grain of salt, guys. Eleanor keeps asking, is Caio Borralho the unofficial backup for the co-main? Jose, is he there?
Yeah, he's at least in Abu Dhabi. I don't know if he's the backup.
Okay. You haven't heard anything about the backup. So, guys, we don't know. But hey, we've seen Stranger Things. We all remember that one time.
Also, let's not forget that
Colby
apparently there's another backup here. AK. There is another person that hasn't weighed in yet, and that is Diego Lopez.
Oh, yes, that's right. We have a backup. Okay, you know what? Let me add Diego to my next iteration of this document. Always ready for a fight. Diego Lopez. I'll put him on this graphic here as main event backup. Diego Lopez. Yes, you can be sure he is going to be on weight. I should just put it on the screen now, because yes, Diego Lopez will be weighing in as the backup. Well deserved. Popular guy, great fighter. I think it'd be a stiff test for either guy, frankly. I mean, I would pick Holloway or Topuria as a favorite. But this is a guy who certainly could win a world title, and it would be a hell of a shock if he did it. But Mosshark wants to know, how much is Khamzat allowed to be over for the fight to happen, or is it up to? How dare you? I feel like this is a sarcastic question. But in the event that he did come over, let's say 1.5, 2 pounds, technically it would be up to Rob's team to decide if they want to accept the bout and also the negotiated purse penalty. I imagine they would want to take Khamzat for all he's got, but Rob's pretty nice though. Guys, Khamzat has not weighed in yet. We have a graphic. Do we have a graphic on screen? We do. We have a graphic on screen right now. Facebook, whether you're on Facebook, whether you are on YouTube, use your eyeballs. You can see who has weighed in or not. Moss Shark, if Khamzat's over 3 or 4 pounds, Rob will get in there, but that's more than that's not fair. If Khamzat shows up more than 3 or 4 pounds over, I think they might just cancel the fight, and I'm not sure Rob would have any say in it whatsoever. So, let's just scratch that thought from our minds. Khamzat is taking his time. He's a pretty big guy. He's just, cutting right. He's cutting right. Let's look at it that way. But yes, technically, the remaining 4 fighters only have 17 minutes left in the first hour of the weigh-in window. Jesse wants to know, will the winner of Holloway versus Topuria fight Volk or Diego Sanchez? All right, people, listen. Guys, listen. You want to send troll questions? Go ahead. But this is your chance to... This is your chance to get some real facts. We got Jose Young's on site, guys. What is the Diego Sanchez reference?
That's Conor McGregor, for whatever reason, wanted to fight Diego Sanchez that one time.
Man, I remember that. Yes, that's a deep cut. That is a deep cut.
That was when, remember, he leaked the DMs with Dana, and he's like, "I'll fight Diego Sanchez in Los Angeles." Where did that come from?
Oh yeah, I think I wrote about that for MadeFighting.com. Gosh, that was a long time ago. Let's talk main event, guys. Again, people, this is your chance to send in questions, ask a thing, give us prompts. Got some. Once people start randomly just putting in Nate Diaz talk, then Elner, why was Orolbai fight catchweight? I have no idea. My guess is both guys just didn't want to cut the weight. It's very likely one of them prompted it first. I don't know who. I'm not going to point fingers. It's very possible. Earlier in the week, one of the guys said, "I'm having trouble making 155. Can we bump it up?" And again, if this happened at the beginning of the week, I'm sure the other guy was happy to do it. Again, we look to have a situation with Basharat and Hugo where Basharat looked pretty cheesed about having to come in 137. I'm just checking now. Okay, it is officially a featherweight bout on UFC.com now, so some confusion there. Again, my guess is Hugo is having trouble, but I'm sure we will get the story there. Not a great time for Basharat.
Whoever wins, I'll ask it post-fight.
Jesse, it's Diego Lopez, not Diego Sanchez. The other person was making a Diego Sanchez joke. This is why I shouldn't read every comment. Diego Lopez, guys. Diego Lopez, not Diego Sanchez. So the main event, guys, we've got Ilia Topuria 16-0. Looking like a world beer, looking like a real star. 15-0, excuse me. Whoa, I almost predicted his win. Feted at the Bernabeu and Spain. I mean, he's living up. He has all the makings of a real mainstream star, a real long-term champion. Now, unfortunately, he's also gotten caught up in some wild-ass trash talk with Conor McGregor and Bilal Muhammad. He's saying he's going to eventually fight Islam. And the man does not have one title defense yet.
All right, next man to weigh in this morning, competing live
Max
on the
Holloway?
pay-per-view main card, the number 14 ranked featherweight contender, Dan 50K Ige. $146, the official weight for Dan Ige.
I'm always concerned.
Starting the race questions.
It's got 13 minutes.
Have they confirmed it's just the hour?
Yeah, I mean, if you miss it, you can take another hour. But...
Oh God.
I feel like they might.
Oh God. Okay, you getting nervous?
Is he the last one?
Shara.
Yeah,
Oh no, I'm confident everyone's gonna make way without issue.
He's got 13 minutes.
They have guys. It's a first 48 minutes. It's a first hour. It's a first hour. Then we're not even close to an hour. I mean, this is quarter two or a little less than quarter two. No problem.
Blindado.
Malo 5th. Topuria Saturday night. I bought up. MMA math doesn't work here, right, guys? You can't say, well, Ilia beat Volkanovski and Volkanovski beat Max, whatever. It doesn't really work that way, right? Styles make matchups. But again, I just feel like Volk has Max's number. But I know a lot of people who still believe he gave Holloway one more can with Volk. As lopsided as that fight was, there's people out there who still believe Max could beat him on the right day. I mean, the second fight, obviously, incredibly close. 2 knockdowns for Holloway in that fight. No knockdowns for Volkanovski. I do feel like Volk won the last 3 rounds, so I have no problem with that decision. But a lot of people thought Max Holloway won that second fight, and I don't think you're crazy if you say that. So yes, I can understand why there's a lot of Max Holloway sentiment, because he is clearly as much. Again, Volkanovski beat him 3 times, fine, but it's almost like 1A and 1B, because then then Holloway just kept fighting off all of these guys who would, in a world where he didn't exist, would have gotten title shots. Yair Rodriguez, he beat him. Yair did get a title shot later. Arnold Allen, Max beat him. So these are guys like he's essentially inadvertently been a gatekeeper for Volkanovski. He pummeled Brian Ortega, long before Volkanovski fought Ortega. So they've beaten some of the same guys. Max arguably has beaten more named featherweights, because let's not forget Volkanovski just did that 2-fight sojourn at 155 with Islam Makhachev, which was awesome. Not so awesome for him in the second fight. So yes, I understand the sentiment that Max could become a champion, something like 1,200 days after the last time he held the belt. He is the BMF champion. He himself has said it's a cool thing. It's he doesn't consider it to be a real belt, because it isn't. And he wants the real thing back. So what a story that would be. You guys check MMAfighting.com. We did a little round table asking, would it be the most feel-good win in MMA history? In fact, I will ask you guys right now.
Did you say something, AK?
I did not. I am typing up a poll.
This guy.
Would Max Holloway becoming UFC champion again be the most feel-good title win ever? I'm doing a simple yes/no, guys. It's a binary question. I should have asked where would you rank it, but that's a whole other discussion. I don't really want to get into that. Jesse, you couldn't hear me because I wasn't talking. So that's probably one reason why you couldn't hear me. I was not talking. I was polling. Yes, somebody has to.
You can't use that word.
Jose, I did send you another. Okay. I did send you another graphic if you want to put that up there. Let's try and summon.
I was making an election day joke.
Alex in the chat asking, oh, so they still have another whole hour then? Yes. Yes, they do. Again, they're supposed to weigh in the first hour.
There you go. Okay.
Jose?
There you go. Do you not see it?
Okay. I thought you were going to say, yeah, yeah, thank you. So we're just waiting. Khamzat, I see it. Khamzat, Shara, and Bruno Silva, Blindado Silva. I'm probably having some audio issues, Jose. It's probably why I don't know if you can't hear me, but so everyone asking, he has to make weight now, but he still has an hour, right? Yeah. My guess is if these guys are going to miss the first hour, they would be wise to reach out to officials ahead of time and give a good reason. Again, Mateusz Nicolau just did it. He said he was stuck in traffic. I don't even know if you need a good reason. If I would think, hopefully, the fighters can just say, yeah, like we're not
Yeah.
going to make it. Because
Yeah.
why make them weigh in the first time? Like it's just a waste of time. So let them sit their butts in the sauna and cut that weight. As terrible as that sounds, but yes, Khamzat, Shara Bullet, Blindado Silva. We are waiting for you, gentlemen. I'm trying to see the history of. I don't obviously Chimaev missed weight uh, for that. Yes, that brutal. But and Armen has missed weight in the UFC either. So fingers crossed remains the case. Jay Radio 2 says, I think Petrosyan title win was the most emotional first time championship has ever got me. It was an incredible moment. Then he started talking about making a father proud. It was something that went on there. Like there was a lot going on there. Seven minutes ago. I want to talk about the Coleman guys. I want to Coleman, but we don't even know if the Coleman. I'm in Khamzat yet. And again, this is his first fight in over a year. He fought last October, and his second fight since September of 2022. It's been a while, guys. It's been a while for a guy who made his name for his insane level of activity. He got an illness in June. That's when him and Whittaker were supposed to fight. Supposed to headline a fight night also in Abu Dhabi, in Saudi Arabia. Excuse me. They were supposed to headline a fight night in Saudi Arabia. It did not happen. Whittaker went on to fight Ikram Aliskerov, picked up a big KO there. But other than that, that's it. The last time we saw Chimaev, he was yes. Tell me.
Was Ige the last person to weigh in?
Yes, he was. Wait.
Yeah. No,
Yes, he was.
we couldn't remember. We were trying to sort some things out over here.
Yes. Correct. Yeah. No. Correct. Yes, it's been. I'm sorry, guys. I was saying last time we saw Khamzat, he was fighting Kamaru Usman. Kamaru Usman was stepping in on short notice for Paulo Costa, the Eraser, and Chimaev dominated that first round. Didn't exactly dominate the next two rounds. I certainly saw some people saying they thought Usman did enough to win the fight. That was not the case. It ended up being a majority decision win for the Wolf, Bors. And he remained undefeated. He is now 13-0. Kamaru Usman, hey, short notice or not, nice feather in the cap. Before that, it was that bizarre fight with Kevin Holland because he didn't make weight for the Nate Diaz fight. He being Chimaev, that is, and then a good fight with Gilbert Burns, which again some people hold against him because he didn't finish Gilbert Burns, and it was a back and forth fight. But I thought that was a great fight for Khamzat. So I don't know, guys. I don't know what the sentiment is for Khamzat now. He's certainly someone we still talk about. Is he still a fan favorite? Is he still someone people see as a surefire world title contender? Because he looked like a guy who could win titles in two divisions. Now we're really just hoping we get one title fight from him in any division. I think most likely middleweight. But Curtis Street, if Khamzat can't fight, will Robert fight Ikram Aliskerov again? I hope he's on call. I'll say that. I hope Ikram's available.
Just give Robert
it doesn't
Whittaker
look
the titles. Just put him as the backup in Sydney.
Seriously.
Though, if anyone watched me today, he said he wasn't overly keen on fighting in February, even if it wasn't Sydney, because that means he'd have to train and cut weight and stuff over the holidays, and he wasn't overly keen on that with 5 kids.
Yeah, more than fair. Bvon11, Bisping was a feel-good title win as well. Oh yeah, for sure. Wasn't a huge fan, but the guy deserved it. Yeah, well, Bvon, I agree. I was a fan of Bisping at the time, I think, and yeah, it was a very cool moment. It was definitely up there with feel-good title wins. I see 61% saying Max would be the most feel-good title win ever. I think this has a lot to do, and in both cases, it has a lot to do with how fans feel about the current champion. Luke Rockhold after he beat Weidman. I mean, I don't think he was a bad guy or perceived as the bad guy, but I do think Luke has always had an issue with connecting with a large portion of the fan base. He doesn't always maybe track so well on the likability scale. Sorry, Luke Rockhold, if you're out there, very successful person, but I mean, I've seen some. I think there's a lot of fans out there who never quite warmed to Luke. Maybe he defended the title a few times, but he didn't get that chance. He lost to Bisping, and same with Ilia. I just don't think he's endeared himself to fans over the last 6 months or since winning the title. I think he's coming off as a bit of a big shot. He's coming off maybe a little too like we want fighters to be professional. I think one of the things I liked about Ilia at first was he came in wearing suits and looked the part of a professional champion. Now I think he's overdoing it a little bit. Again, has not defended the title yet.
Yep.
Jorge Carrazzo, let's say Chimaev misses by a lot and the fight gets called off. Will Bobby still get paid show money? How does that work? Do we know? Guys, it's case by case. For the most part, a lot of fighters do not, as far as we know, don't have it written in their contracts that if their opponent doesn't show up, they necessarily get show money. Robert has been a good company man. He should get paid. But again, they
I
could
bet
always
he
just
will.
say, I would hope so. But they could always say that we are rebooking you, so your show money will come when we actually book you again to fight soon.
How many times was Leon booked up with Khamzat? Twice?
Oh man, at least twice.
What a world.
The fine folks at Topology have 3 listings. First time Edwards tested positive for COVID. Second time Chimaev recovering from COVID. Third time Chimaev still recovering from COVID. So this all happened from end of 2020 to March 2021. They tried it 3 times, fell through 3 times, and we're probably never getting that one.
Oh,
It wasn't meant to be.
I got all excited. This guy, the weigh-in guru, walked over to check weights, and I got all excited for nothing.
Alex saying generally, if you officially make weight, you get show money. Again, guys, it is case by case. It is case by case. The UFC has been, I think, pretty good about taking care of people. But if they are planning to rebook you soon, like for example, if you made weight and your opponent, for whatever reason, minor injury, couldn't make the fight, but they can reschedule for like 2 weeks later, they're not paying you twice. They're not paying you the show money. Usually, typically, if there are exceptions, please remind me. But if that's the case, if they rebook the fight, you're not getting your show money. That's my understanding.
No update per UFC PR.
Yeah. Bvon11, Topuria just doesn't feel authentic. His shtick seems forced and people see through it. I agree. There's just a little too much faux Connor in there. And I know everyone does it. It's not just Ilia. Like, we don't want to single out Ilia. Many fighters take on this faux Connor persona. It's made a lot of money for the man himself, and I think people think they can take a little bit of that. Maybe they can again get some McGregor fame, some McGregor money, more importantly. But it's hard to do, and it makes you unlikable. I find it makes you unlikable. I don't think it's benefiting Ilia at all. I just can't imagine a lot of people seeing that knockout of loving him after that knockout of Volkanovski, and then the next 6 months loving him more because he's taken on this kind of arrogant persona. It's very strange.
So today.
Yeah, go ahead, Jose. Go ahead.
All right.
Yes, the first hour is over. Again, where they want people to come in the first hour. It is over. We have 3 fighters still coming in. Khamzat.
Yeah. Okay, we talked to UFC PR. They said yesterday they said an hour. They just told us right now it's actually 9 to 11, and they're pretty much almost here.
Okay, that's good. That's good to hear. And again, as we sort of said at the beginning, guys, and as has happened with the Vegas weigh-ins, as far as we know, it's not a hard rule. It's not like if you show up after the 2 hours, if you actually show up after the 2 hours without weighing in, yes, you are
I know.
done. This is more of a recommendation, I think, a streamlining of the weigh-in process. They are trying to get as many people as they can the first hour and save a second weigh-in for that second hour. They don't want to do someone comes in an hour and 45 minutes into a 2-hour window and then misses weight, and then they're waiting an indeterminate amount of time to let that person weigh in again. I'm sorry, I shouldn't indeterminate. You only get an extra hour typically. But that, again, that essentially could extend someone's weigh-in time to almost 3 hours. That is the scenario they're trying to avoid. So my guess is if you come in the second hour, you should not get another weigh-in. But I don't know if that's the case. Okay, that's how I would handle it. You want to use that second hour, fine. But if you miss, you miss. We are not giving you another hour to weigh in. That just would be my ruling. But again, not official. It could be if they show up early enough within like before 1:15 and they miss, maybe they still give them extra time. Maybe at least give them to the end of the second hour. But again, we're playing with something new here, guys. This is a new standard they're trying to set, and I don't think it's fully set in stone, all the rules yet. Khamzat has not missed weight yet. Let's wait to see the man show up. Technically, we have a whole hour for these guys to come in. He being Khamzat, Blindado Silva, and Shara Bullet. Two very notable names, two gentlemen on the main card. Shara also undefeated. I won't say he's exactly lived up to the hype in his 3 UFC fights. He's won them all, but they weren't the most incredible performances for a guy, again, who came in with the hype of a great striker and a possible title challenger. I feel he's a ways away. I'm sure if he gets a big win on Saturday, he will call for a top 5 guy or something, or let's hope that happens. Let's hope he doesn't call for Nick Diaz again. That was incredibly stupid.
Shoot.
Whatever DX says, kick Khamzat out of the UFC if he misses weight again. Khamzat is pretty popular.
He's fairly popular.
Sure. For a guy who only fights once a year at best, he has an incredibly rabid fan base. I'm not saying he's like McGregor level guys. I'm not even saying he's necessarily like John Jones, Max Holloway level, but he's for a guy who hasn't won a UFC title, he's close. There's a lot of just a constant buzz around him, and he generated so much goodwill with some of his early performances. There's a large fan base out there that still wants to see this guy fight, still wants to see him fight for a UFC title. So if he misses weight again, I can't imagine the UFC cutting him. I do wonder if they would tell him, thank you, as Richard Doe has written, I do wonder if they would tell him maybe go up to 205. He is huge. Like, he is enormous. Just go back and watch any of his
but I don't
fights.
think that's the thing. I think he's,
Okay.
been incredibly sick. And I
That
don't
too.
know if that's even like, he got sick and then he got better. Like, he just might be chronically ill for the rest of his life. Like, that long
This is true.
COVID, like, his immune system got shot. He had COVID so many times and he just kept training through it. Like, I don't know if it's a weight thing so much as like his immune system is just perpetually shot now.
It's certainly
He's also like
listen,
if you go look at his like portraits from this week, like obviously at media day and stuff, he's walking around like in a sweater and everything because it's cold in the hotel, but like doesn't look that big in his portraits. Like he's like welterweight, he looks massive, like he's shredded, he's tall. This one he just looks like he is like a normal middleweight. Like he walks around at close to 200 and cuts to 185. He doesn't look monstrous at all. I think 205 would be a massive mistake at this point.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm curious. I
Like,
agree.
have you stood in Alex Ferreira walks around at like 230?
He's a big fella. But he can't wrestle. Haven't you heard? All you have to do is take him down. All you have to do is take him down. That's what everyone says. All you have to do is take Alex Ferreira down. He can't.
Alex Ferreira got a black belt or whatever it was. Did he get a black belt? He got a black belt for knocking out Jamal Hill.
Yep.
The best defense for the best takedown defense is just knocking your opponent out.
I don't listen. Anthony
Why
Smith has
stuff
said the
why
guy.
why stuff takedowns where you
Okay.
can just kick your opponent in the face?
Anthony Smith has said the guy can't grapple. I mean, listen, you're gonna trust me. You're gonna trust Anthony Smith. No, I mean,
Me.
I agree. I
Stop, Lee. Oh,
I,
stop,
di-
Lee.
I didn't give people that option. I didn't give people that option.
I'm very sleepy. Oh my God, it's just hitting me now. I've been in the Middle East for 2 weeks.
Yeah, Jose has been again living in a
You want to know
dream,
what I'm
really.
thinking about right now? You want to
I,
know what I'm thinking about
tell
right
me,
now?
tell the
I'm
world,
gonna
Jose,
put
tell
a.
the world.
No one's gonna care about this, but I'm gonna. You
Uh-huh.
might know.
Do it.
Tell me this guy doesn't look like Charlie Cox.
This seems inappropriate, but let's see. Who is that?
No, the Charlie Cox is the guy that plays Daredevil in the
Okay,
Netflix show. Tell me that dude doesn't look like
sure,
Charlie
sure.
Cox.
Let me hold on him for a moment. Sorry, I've got my. Is it him?
No, it's not. It's baffling to me.
How do you know? Who is he?
That's true. I couldn't tell you.
It could be Charlie Cox.
I would love it if it was.
Whatever it was.
I would be very excited.
I don't think he's got a lot of work lately. Maybe
I'd
he's
be
working
like,
for the
what happened with season 2? That's what I would say.
didn't it fall through? Weren't to bring the show back, and it felt I don't
They
know.
are no, they literally just were
No,
at New York Comic Con. They announced
it,
like it's coming out. They did a panel and
well,
everything.
listen,
They
he's like you. He
postponed they
went from New York to
postponed
Abu Dhabi.
Blade. They postponed Blade, I'll tell you that. Oh, we got movement and someone is standing near the box.
Thank goodness. Listen, that you summoned that. You summoned it. Oh, someone's using the box. Oh boy. Let this be a box of redemption, people.
That's not what you
Prayer
want to see.
prayer emojis up in the chat, please. Prayer emojis up in the chat. I'll throw one in. I'll throw it in. Let me get this chain started.
All right, next fighter to the scale, competing in a prelim on ESPN Plus in the middleweight division, Blindado Brunno Silva.
Not the middleweight.
Like it's gonna be all this for Bruno Silva.
Not the middleweight we were looking for. Man, filled with hate standing up on the scale.
$186.
186, the official weight for Brunno Silva.
Bum, ba-da-bum, bum, bum, bum. Box of redemption. That is a successful weight make, my friends. Does he look like a man who's ready to fight tomorrow? Up for debate. Up for debate. We will see how he recovers.
He needs to take out his hate on Chris Weidman tomorrow.
Yeah, we will see. People, if you have not seen that back and forth, check out Guilherme Cruz's interview with Bruno Silva, where he ethers several fighters, including Chris Weidman, especially Chris Weidman, I'd say, obviously, and then
Daniel Cormier for some reason.
and Chris, because Daniel Cormier was also apparently making fun of him,
Oh,
and a skit, some sort of skit.
I see.
I think he was wearing goggles or something. I don't know. They're making fun of him. Anyway, Chris Weidman responded, so we got a little, hey, you know what? Let's run that one back. Joseph
Man.
Boza, that's the box of redemption. People, you cannot call it the box of shame when they make it. That's the box of redemption. All right? So hopefully that fight is on. Let me write this down here. Bruno Silva 186. I'll send Jose an update shortly.
Train
Yeah, I see
flyweights.
see the video.
Yeah. Look how tall that is. So comical.
I know.
I'm curious if Diego even weighs in.
That's the one we didn't mention. Diego Lopez also did not weigh in the first hour, so I don't know if
I'm
he's getting
curious.
an exception because he's the backup.
Maybe
Or,
he was seeing if they needed him, and then he's like, all right, they need
yeah,
it, I'm
they
out.
both made 145. But I mean, that's not. But it's not just about seeing them weigh in. It's like I don't even want to talk about this, but should something happen to one of the main eventers within the next 24 hours, I mean, you would want a backup to be ready. It's not just about if one of them misses weight, because I don't think we thought either of them were going to miss weight. So um, I wonder if they're going to tell us maybe Diego weighed in privately, like because
That could be.
I mean it doesn't need to be in front of the media, I guess, but I don't see anything on their website. So nothing on UFC News. I don't think has tweeted out a weight for Diego Lopez. So I don't know, guys, but it's not like they're short of options. I mean, they could. Oh, actually, I was going to say Dan Ige, but technically not. Dan Ige weighed in at 146. Lerone Murphy 145.5. Farid Basharat would be available. He weighed in as a featherweight, so wouldn't that be a treat? But
That's funny.
I think hopefully Diego's available. Some of these comments make me laugh, guys, but I cannot read them on the air. I'm sorry, but you are very funny.
Thank you.
Oh, Eric Albrecht. This is a good question. Eric Albrecht says, backup fighters get paid for successful weigh-in regardless
No, I
of them
know.
fighting, do they?
It's true.
From what I know, yes, backup fighters would get paid. Now, are they getting paid a full show money?
No.
We don't know.
No.
Jose, are you talking to me or are you talking to someone there?
Talking to you.
Okay.
I don't think they get their full contracting, but like unless
Okay.
they fight, and they'll get
Yes.
like, oh, you made weight, you make some money, but like if say he made weight, and then Ilia got in a car crash, God forbid, and then he had to fight Max, then it would be his full thing. But I am also,
Yeah.
as you have said many a times, it's circumstantial.
It is. And another thing is, guys, like, I think people don't understand.
Also, we got the weights up.
Fantastic. Thank you, Jose. For the most part, like, these contracts, and again, we don't know exactly what the contracts look like. I think there was one that leaked some many years ago. It's probably different now, slightly different. A lot of these contracts, from what we've been told by fighters and many interviews and managers and what have you, they don't have language for like, oh, by the way, if I'm a backup, how much do I get paid? If I make weight, my opponent doesn't make weight, how much do I get paid? Like the UFC is able to use their discretion in a lot of these situations. I mean, that's why the UFC is one reason they're so, like, it's such a powerful business. Is they hold the cards, guys. They hold the cards. So unless I'm mistaken, unless Diego Lopez's manager is really good, or any other fighter who weighs in his back, unless they have really good management that can foresee the possibility of them someday having to be called upon to be a backup, and have it in there that, like, oh, if he's a backup, I want he or she to be paid their full show money. I'm pretty sure, as Jose just mentioned, they probably just get a some sort of payment for being the backup, but it is negotiated case by case, and that sucks. You should get your show money. Frankly, you're literally showing up, whether you're fighting or not. You are literally showing up. You should be getting a full show. It shouldn't count, I think, as one of your fights in your contract being going up. I don't think that would make sense, but you should get show money.
Should be your question.
Oh, that's a good question. AK, are you so excited for some 12-6 elbows in Edmonton?
Hell's yeah. I can't wait to see them used by Brandon Moreno.
To see some violence up in the Great North.
Derek Lewis. Derek Lewis.
Not in 2024, man.
If Derek Lewis gets Janata Deniz down, he might kill him with a downward elbow. That would be hilarious. I'm not hilarious for Janata Deniz, but I mean, for us as fans, it'd be hilarious. Aleksandar Romanov, maybe that's a weapon. Maybe that's a weapon that can unearth the next level of Romanov. Ariane De Silva and Jasmine Yasidavicius. De Silva, the former Ariane Lipski, for anyone who's confused. De Silva and Yasidavicius, they both love elbows. Being able to use a downward elbow on the ground could be fun. So, yes, that's exciting. That's exciting. But I also think it's going to lead to some shenanigans with fighters not knowing that they can use it. And Probably a fighter getting hit by one and then complaining to the referee as they're getting killed by a downward elbow, like, "Oh, it just downward elbowed me," and the referee having to like explain to them. It's always sucky for the fighters when these kind of rules get tweaked and changed. As you said many times, in some places they don't even know if which cities they're being used in, which one they're not. People keep asking me, Caio Borralho as the backup
For what?
for the co-main. Guys, Jose says this isn't a thing.
I haven't heard anything about it.
He's there, guys. He's there.
I'm just gonna confirm, even though I know him, right? There's not a backup for the co-main, right?
Not that I've
Yeah,
heard.
because all of our comments is
I
like,
asked Kyle Bravo
yeah.
when he was here, but he's like, I'm not even going to back.
yeah, that's what I saw it. Yeah, as one Michael. What's your middle name?
Patrick.
What Michael Patrick Bond informed us.
Is
that
his middle name
too.
actually?
That's what
Is his
they
middle
say
name actually Patrick?
allegedly. Big if true.
You know who else's middle name is Patrick?
Jose's.
Is it?
Yeah.
No, it's not.
My dad's Irish.
What?
My mom's Mexican. My dad's Irish.
You know who else's middle name is Patrick?
Let me take a guess. Does he work on MMA fighting?
He does.
Is it you?
No,
Is it Jed?
no, it's my best friend Mike Heck.
Oh.
So we got Michael Patrick Heck. We got Michael Patrick Bond. Wow. This is riveting.
You know what's very funny?
YouTube.
You know what?
What?
Because I'm a
Tell me.
weirdo. We
Uh-huh.
all have. It's all 5 syllables each.
Yeah. You guys sound like serial killers.
221.
Uh-huh. You guys sound like a bunch of serial killers.
Jose Patrick Young sounds like a serial killer.
You guys
I
all
don't
have the middle
think
name
so.
Patrick.
No.
That's weird.
No.
Jose, I mean, without the Patrick, it sounds like a serial killer, but that's a whole other discussion.
No, we don't mess around with that in Mexico. That's an American
But
thing.
yes, to round back to the Borralho question. Okay, I see where this started. There's just pictures of him. He's there. He's in
Well,
Abu Dhabi.
as I
Everyone
was
says, "Oh, he's
saying-
gonna be back up."
As I was saying, Mike Bond informed us that Carvalho told him that he couldn't even make light heavyweight right now, let alone middleweight.
He's on feasting.
Yeah,
First day.
he feasting.
Yeah. By the way, guys, I don't think they do backups for
Non-title fights.
especially non-title co-mains. Like, so I don't know why people. I'm not saying we have all the answers, but I would just say please don't bite on every aggregator MMA account thing, like sending out like, oh, here's a picture of Caio, and then like 10 other blue checkmark Twitter accounts say, oh, Caio Borralho in Abu Dhabi is like, at least try and find a reliable source. Go to MMAfighting.com, go to MMAJunkie.com, go to UFC.com, SureDog,
It's 2
Uncrowned.
hours.
From now.
You guys
No,
have
it's-
sources.
it was
to, like,
always
check
2
these
hours.
things. Again, we don't know everything, but I think if Borralho was going to be a co-main eventer, backup to the co-main, you would have heard from a reliable source. So, guys, no. As far as we know, Caio is not a backup for the co-main. It wouldn't make a lot of sense. He's in very good position right now. Why would he? Well, I shouldn't say why would he, because if he beat Khamzat or Robert, I mean, Whittaker, that probably guarantees him a title shot. So. It's not without a point, that's for sure.
You still
But
feeling
I would say
confident, AK?
Hundo P.
Let's do a tattoo. Let's do a tattoo bet.
I'm as confident as I am that the Toronto Raptors would not go out there and lose by 30 points at home on their 30th anniversary season, the worst home loss in a season opener in franchise history. I'm that confident, Jose.
How about
Because
those
that would
Celtics, though?
because that would
More
never happen.
importantly.
I don't want to talk about that.
I had a great time.
I don't want to talk about that.
Why?
They put it on the Wizards today too. Jeez Louise.
Yeah.
Um,
Three-peat coming in.
Joseph Boza says, especially with Tatiana, there's a bogus site that said Tatiana was injured, not a 310. Guys, that actually is not bogus. Now, we do have, we have Mike Bond there. We should talk to him. But she did refute it at first in a series of tweets, but then she deleted those tweets. And again, we also, we confirmed that with other sources, guys, that said Tatiana is out. So unclear what that situation is with Tatiana's fight. But I will say, as far as we know, again, this is with having spoken to sources, not me. I think it was Damon. I want to say it was Damon or maybe Mike. As far as we know, she is not
AK.
fighting at 310, but it is
AK.
disputed. Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna chuck this up on the screen because it's a super chat. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
We got,
Okay,
guys,
I will read.
save your money, guys,
Let
because
me,
you know.
Jose. Let me read that in a second. I just want to debunk this thing.
I know. I'm just chucking it up there for the
Yeah.
fans.
This was written by MMA Junkie, which is fine. It wasn't. She didn't speak to MMA Junkie, guys. She did not speak to MMA Junkie. This was again. She tweeted in response to a story. Oh, I'm sorry. It does say a person with knowledge. Okay, I'm sorry. I read this. MMA Junkies like us. They have sources. We spoke to sources. Sources told us this fight is off. She then tweeted that it wasn't, but then deleted those tweets. So as far as I know, this fight is off. We'll have to see if Tatiana does an interview. Maybe we'll be able to get her MMA fighting. Maybe she'll speak to another outlet directly. But she herself did not speak to an outlet directly and refute the report. She did address it on social media and then deleted those comments. So that story, as far as we know, was real. Sorry, guys. Sorry to talk about a fight that's not on the card. Big Daddy Crave, what's up? Thank you for the super chat. How could Holloway jump over Volkan Aldo as greatest featherweight of all time, as it's pretty close between all three? Yeah, it's really hard. For me, he can't. Well, I shouldn't say. Realistically, he can't. I think he has to still fall behind. If he beats Ilia, huge feather in his cap. I still don't put him over Volkanovski. I just think the head-to-head was too convincing for Volkanovski. Even taking into account the second fight, I still think the head-to-head is pretty strongly in Volk's favor. And I think Volk's resume is comparable. Holloway is a great champion. I love Max Holloway. But I do think Volk has the edge over him. And for me, neither of those guys has the body of work that Aldo has at 145. So I still will not put them over. Now, the question is, how can he do it? If he beats Ilia and then rattles off another 2 or 3 title defenses, and if, let's say, somewhere in there is a win over Volk, an elusive win over Volk, you can start talking about Max as the greatest. But for me, I'm firmly, as this question asked, the current order I think most would have is Aldo 1, Aldo or Volk 1. I would have Aldo 1, Aldo, Volk, Holloway. So Holloway 3rd, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you guys already have Holloway higher, but I do wish there was, again, these guys had a few more title defenses. Just, again, a little bit more long. But longevity, Holloway's definitely got it. People, there is no Kaya Bahalio backup as far as we know. We are now 25 minutes into the second hour. We did get Bruno Blindado Silva pretty early, but we are still waiting on Khamzat and Shara Magomedov. And again, I will remind people, and theoretically, main event backup Diego Lopez, who, as far as we know, maybe now that he saw Ilia and Max Holloway make weight, is not weighing in. We'll find out. But fighters were expected to weigh in the first hour and use the second hour only if they didn't make weight on their first attempts. I guess that doesn't apply to Khamzat or Shara Bullet. We are waiting for them. Davos Sark wants to know, hey, AK, if you ever played sports growing up, was your jersey number 47 like Andrei Kirilenko? I wish. Guys, I didn't get the AK name until I started working in MMA fighting. I really just went by Alex Lee. Maybe I got Al, A-L. I didn't use my middle initial that much. But then, once I became a professional MMA guy, I was like, Alex Lee's a pretty common name. I better distinguish. So I added the AK, which was a little confusing because I went to school with a guy named AK, Ali Khan. Shout outs to Ali Khan, doing great work with the Toronto Blue Jays social media team. But then I became AK in MMA fighting, and AK, I guess, in some corners of the MMA community for people who know who I am. So, no, I missed the whole AK-47 thing, and my athletic days are mostly over. Still playing pickup basketball as long as my knees hold up, but no, my slow pitch softball number was like 5 or something. I missed it, guys. I missed it.
Do better.
Yeah. Andrei Kirilenko. Shout outs to Andrei Kirilenko. Ahead of his time. I mean, he was a great player then, but in today's NBA, I mean, he would fit. He would he would fit in perfectly. Positionless basketball. I mean, that was Andrei Kirilenko before
Him
that
and
was a
him
thing.
and him and Sean Marion would be tearing it
Oh,
up right
crazy,
now.
crazy. They
Him and his
Sean
trash
Marion.
ass jump shot.
Yeah, yeah.
You
I
like
think the
that one?
closest.
Fair of MMA joke. He likes that one.
Yeah, I gotta play fair. I heard she can ball, man. I want to play a fair someday. I heard she can
Certainly
ball.
better than her colleagues.
Yeah, she
I'm talking
probably beat
about
my ass,
basketball.
but I mean, I'm pretty confident.
There's video
I'm the best.
evidence. There's video evidence that I whooped up Nolan King in the basketball court.
Did you? Let me put it
Yeah.
right now. Well, I know you used to play. You told me you were in your high school basketball team. Let me tell you right now. I've said this many times on
There's
air. And I'll
video
say it.
evidence that it happened.
I think
On the
I
Phoenix
am the
Suns.
best.
Saying try that with me. See what happens.
I was at the
It-
Phoenix Suns arena for
Uh-huh.
Bellator weigh-ins or Bellator open workout, and we were just killing time.
Were you
And I-
at the first ESPN Plus card, the Cejudo and
No,
Neal
I
show?
was not.
The media center was in the basketball court.
Yeah, that's how the Bellator stuff was too. And we were just killing time. And I filmed, and Nolan, because he's just so good at basketball, missed 3 layups, defended by literally no one.
Well, hey, a win's a win. A win's a win. I think, and I say this with no proof. I've never played against anyone in the MMA media. I think I'm the best basketball player in the MMA media. I will call that right now, but we'll see. We'll see.
I know Farrell
I
probably
hope
beat
to.
you.
I know everyone tells me Farrah is like fire on the court, so I'm a little scared. I'm a little scared she just beat my ass. But can I work my way up to Farrah? Can I play someone else first? Can I play like Ariel?
play
Ariel
you.
says Ariel
I'll
always
play
says
you.
he can ball. I bet I could take Ariel.
I'll play.
Shout out to my boy. I'll play. Yeah, but you're tall. You're taller than I thought.
Come to New York. Play Rucker Park. Look it out.
I'll come. I'll come. We'll go 1-on-1, and then we also have to do squads. Like we gotta do like 3-on-3 or something. Cause like
Sure. You pick your 3. You pick
Yeah.
your 2. Don't need to.
let me see some of the comments in here. Sorry, guys, we are rambling. Why is Chris Barnett the best? Man, speaking of guys who haven't fought in a while and have had bad luck getting fights, Chris Barnett, man, I mean, again, just recently had issues with travel because those hurricanes going down in Florida. We hope everything's okay with Chris Barnett. Hope everything's okay with his family. We think it's cool that he stepped up in this opportunity, but yeah, hopefully he's doing all right and his head's right on fight night because Chris Barnett, we love him. Took a long time to get to the UFC. Definitely a guy who was always making waves in the regional scene. You always find an occasional viral clip like, who's this guy? Who's this guy? Oh, that's Chris Barnett. It's Beast Boy. So I kind of never thought he'd make it. And, he's finally made it and just can't quite string together enough fights. But he's had some great moments, great dancing, great knockouts, great celebrations. Dunson was asking, do I still talk to Sean Strickland? I don't get a chance to talk to the man much, unfortunately, but I am crossing my fingers that they do the Strickland Duplessis rematch in Toronto, and then we can get the AK Strickland rematch, because I'm sure that's listen. People seem to love what happened to me the first time, and the other day I was I was having to look up of the clips for some reason. Man, a lot of people got a lot of clicks off this story. We didn't post that interview on MMA Fighting. Didn't post it on our socials.
Little
Didn't write an
update.
article about it.
Little update.
Yes.
AK.
What do you got for him? What do you got for him?
The UFC weigh-in show, because obviously no one on this show is watching because they're watching ours, said that it's
Uh-huh.
gonna be close.
Oh no,
Because he's apparently running into some issues.
he's having some issues.
Fucking plus
That's all they're saying?
Max.
He's just struggling, I guess is the word.
A Max.
You know,
Parlay is plus 8.
First of all, as Jose mentioned earlier, the man did have a very serious bout of COVID, very serious illness. Long COVID is a real thing. I know a lot of folks out there will scoff at whatever. We all like the COVID pandemic is over, or whatever. Guys, people out there are still getting it, and people who got it during the earliest period are still suffering effects from it. That's a very real thing. So we can laugh at Chimaev's struggles all we want. We can sort of his inactivity, but I think Jose's right. I think there is clearly something wrong with his body, and it's not like he's ever really taken time off to address these issues, right? I'm sure he's gone to. We know he went to the hospital. We know he's been checked out and things like that. But this is also a guy who's trying to maintain a full-time schedule as an athlete, pushing his body to the limit. Notorious, from all accounts, for pushing himself to like vomiting. Pushing himself to absolute exhaustion when he trains. And I'm not a doctor. Probably not good for your immune system. Probably not good for your recovery if you have an illness. There's still a lot we don't know about it. So
Why don't you have an external power?
maybe Jose's right. Maybe we never see Khamzat at 100% again. So not very Prince of Positivity of me, is it? Bevi got some great comments, by the way. This is just getting silly now. If you can't make weight, don't sign a contract to fight at said weight. Shara Bullet, he's not catching any strays.
No, well, as Oscar, when Oscar and I were shooting the open workouts, Shara Bullet is basically a welterweight fighting a middleweight. He's not that big at all. Like he walks around probably like $190 something.
Franco 766 says if Victor Hugo misses weight for 10 pounds and still fights, then Chimaev can weigh in 195 pounds. Two things. Again, technically, I don't know if that could happen because one, if Chimaev weighed in 10 pounds over, I don't think the commission would allow the fight to go through. And two, Whittaker weighed in under the. Oh no, sorry, I was trying to compare it to the Farid Basharat situation, but ignore that. Either way, the gap would be too big. I don't think the corner would allow it. RL updates. Whittaker second round KO. Yeah, I imagine a lot of people right now are picturing even if Khamzat makes weight, this can't be great for his cardio, can't be great for his energy reserves, and as long as Robert survives the first, would probably come on strong in the second. Again, we saw some of that in the Usman fight, right? Like, I don't think Khamzat looks terrible in round 2, but it was definitely a more even round than the first, which he dominated. And then round 3...
He broke his hand.
Definitely scored for Usman.
I could fall asleep right now.
Jose is exhausted. I stayed up to watch the West Coast basketball games because I'm a sicko. Sergio Santos. Khamzat missed weight once for welterweight, never in middleweight. Should we be worried if that happens, though? He should be cut. Yes, we should still be worried. If we've learned anything from guys like Calvin Gastelum, missing weight isn't always just about being in the wrong class. Again, there could be extenuating circumstances, even if it's not an illness, as it might be with Khamzat. It can be a disciplinary thing. Like, you can miss. I remember when Anthony Johnson, who, listen, a massive guy, when he attempts to make middleweight after, he used to cut down to 170, which was insane. And then his first fight at middleweight, he still missed weight. He didn't come close. Again, we know now probably because he's a light heavyweight, never should have been cutting down to 185. But
his kidney started to give out. I remember that was against Vitor in Brazil.
Yeah, he did fight. I mean, he did fight. He did end up fighting. Did not go well for him. Yeah, understandably. So it isn't always. I do think it's a disciplinary thing. I do think there's health issues.
Oh my gosh.
Jose, it's almost
over.
Now
I'm worried.
Jose, now you're worried. Let's do a rain dance. We got the graphic. Sorry, guys. I should have done the rain dance. Okay. Everyone together now. Let's throw up... what emoji should we use to get... Guys, what emoji should we use to... this is asking for trouble. I don't know why I'm soliciting the chat for this, but what emoji should we use to try and summon Khamzat? Maybe a crystal ball? Let's do a crystal ball. A crystal ball. Okay, guys, we are around the crystal ball. We are channeling our energies, our positive energies. We are trying to get Khamzat out here. Also Shara Bullet. Maybe we summon Shara Bullet by accident. You've seen those stories, guys, where they're trying to summon like one entity and then they summon like a demon instead. Maybe that's what'll happen here. It's like the first story in the Sandman, right, Jose? I'm trying to be a nerd like you, right? They tried to summon death, right? He's trying to summon death in the first Sandman story.
That was I think issue 5 or 6.
Right, but the very first story arc don't they capture Sandman?
Yes, correct.
By accident because they're trying to. Yes, so this is us trying to capture Khamzat. Maybe we summon Shara. Pull it back. Okay. So
why? So bizarre.
At the top of the card. There you go, guys. Eric Albrecht, Spirit Bomb. Yes, there you go. Another nerdy reference. We are doing the Spirit Bomb to summon Khamzat to the scale. Ilia Topuria, Max Holloway, both successfully made weight, guys. So no problem, regardless of what happens. We have an amazing main event to look forward to. Ilia's first featherweight title defense against Holloway, both at 145. Robert Whittaker, he did make weight, 185.5. It seems like this happened like 4 hours ago, and we are waiting on his opponent, Khamzat Chimaev.
The comments are so good.
Magomed Ankalaev, 204.5. Aleksandar Rakic, 206. Very big light heavyweight fight there. Could be a future title contender. Ankalaev, certainly, if he wins, I would hope will get his shot at Pereira finally. Lerone Murphy, 145.5. Dan Ige, 146. We are waiting on Shara Bullet, his opponent, Armen Petrosyan, 186. And Diego Lopez was supposed to weigh in as a backup, but with both fighters successfully making weight, I don't know if we're going to see.
You know what's annoying about this whole situation is
What's happening?
I got the full video all edited. I got the thumbnail ready to go. I got my YouTube stuff all sorted. I literally just need Khamzat and Shara Bullet to weigh in, and then I can just upload in pub, and then our wonderful audience can watch the weigh-ins.
This is a Alexei Oleinik 60 career wins.
Oh, don't! I think it was 50. I think it was 50. Yeah, 50 wins.
Okay, the prelims, guys. Ivo Aslan and Rafael Siqueira bumped to the headlining prelim this week. As Aslan 205, Siqueira 203. Geoff Neal 171 for his welterweight bout with former lightweight champion RDA 171. RDA, as far as we know, fighting at 170 for the rest of his career. Mateusz, Rebecki, and Myktybek Orolbai.
It works.
Oh my gosh, someone is coming to the scale. Who did we summon? Did we get Morpheus or did we get Death? Let's see. Let's see. Oh, the zoom in.
I swear to. Oh, the box is already here too.
The box. Here comes the box of redemption.
All right, next fighter to the scale, weighing in as a backup for our featherweight championship main event. One of the top contenders, Diego Lopez.
Oh, we live a comical life.
$145, the official weight for Diego Lopez.
145 for Diego Lopez, guys. Unbelievable. The chat is apoplectic right now. They are
I just want to say that people are still kind of standing around, though, in their position. So
Next fighter to weigh in here this morning, competing live on pay-per-view in the main card opener in the middleweight division, Shara Bullet Magomedov.
There you go. Uh-oh.
we got Morpheus.
Oh, can't do that.
$185, the official weight for Shara Magomedov.
$185 for Shara Bullet. Championship weight. So there you go. Good showing, I suppose.
He's the backup.
Sure enough, we just saw Diego Lopez, guys. Yes, weighing in as the backup for the main event, and we saw Shara Magomedov. Our first of all, guys, chat. Well done, well done.
Shara Magomedov versus Robert Whittaker. Book it.
We may have to, honestly. The emojis were fantastic. The comments were hilarious. we summoned. It worked. It worked. We literally pulled two fighters out of the ether onto the scale. We just didn't get the guy that we.
This is a clown car of lies.
He's elusive. I gotta look over some of these comments now. This is just. Oh my goodness. Is there an overweight emoji? Okay, some people did. He will make weight. Don't worry. Well, we'll see. And that could still be true. Oh, they're right. Rain cloud. That's really what I should have used. Thank you, Eben Craft. Oh my goodness. Whittaker can just kill Petrosyan. Yeah, sure. That was before. That was obviously before Shara Bullet showed up. What does Jose Youngs eat in Abu Dhabi? Very good question.
What have I been eating? You know what I tried the other day? Me and Ray and Vince from ESPN went and tried, quote unquote, the most authentic Mexican food in the UAE per their word.
Ooh.
Wasn't bad, but
Okay.
it was very odd walking into a Mexican restaurant or in a restaurant in the Middle East, and there's like an ofrenda in the corner, and they're playing like mariachi music, and there's
Yeah,
like sugar skulls, and everything was very bizarre.
that's pretty cool though.
I had a good time. It was good. Drinks were not, but we persevere.
Warren Bashand, aka please go to Edmonton card. I'm sorry, Warren. I'm a house mouse. I don't have plans to go to Edmonton. Obviously, Toronto is like a 30-minute drive from where I live. So if cards happen in Toronto, and plus they're usually pay-per-views, of course I'll go cover that for MMAfighting.com. Edmonton, love Edmonton. Love would love to head out there, but it's just not in the cards at the moment. But I would love to go. I would just love to go out there sometimes just for fun, just to visit. I have not been there.
And
I have not been there in some time.
the first time you and I worked together was in Edmonton.
That's right. And I used a picture that the great Esther
That's
Lynn
right.
took of us for my dating profile, which worked, by the way.
You're welcome.
Probably because some people thought they were going to get to meet Jose as well, but
That
it's part of
photo,
the trick.
I think I had. I'm trying to count, and I'm doing math in my head. I had 54 less tattoos, and 5 less piercings.
Yeah. And then we reenacted it when you were in Toronto last
That's
time,
right.
but you also had to wear like 4 layers of clothing because it was friggin' freezing. So
That's right. That's right.
we couldn't really do a comparison shot, unfortunately.
That's right.
Warren says, "I will go down a water slide at the mall for you." Thank you, Warren. Warren, I have to confess, I've never been to the West Edmonton Mall. I'm embarrassed to say I've been to Edmonton, and somehow I've never been to the West Edmonton Mall.
Is
So
that a good
please,
mall?
it's one of the more famous malls, yeah. Because I think this is common now, but I believe when it was constructed, it was one of the first malls to have like a whole almost like not a whole amusement park, but like an amusement park type area in the middle of the mall. So it's quite spectacular in there. Krishna Bascota, Lopez is fighting who? Lopez is probably not fighting anyone, Krishna. He is just weighing in case, and this will not happen, Ilia or Max somehow cannot make it to fight night on Saturday. But that's not going to happen, so hopefully Diego is just showing up to get some money and enjoy the sights and sounds of Abu Dhabi. We don't want Lopez to fight. Not on Saturday anyway. So we are at 2:45 mark, guys. We're not going to put up a new graphic because I'll tell you right now, everyone has made weight. We've had some funny situations. We got a catch weight bout with the Mateusz Rebecki and Myktybek Orolbai. So both guys have a 160-pound catch weight bout. So if you see those weights out there, neither of them missed. They arranged some sort of catch weight. We also got a very strange featherweight bout with Farid Basharat and Victor Hugo. If you recognize those names, yes, they are bantamweights normally. Hugo, it looks like, could not make weight or was not close to making weight, so apparently the bout was moved up to featherweight, and Hugo came in at 145.5. But this news must have come late in the week for Farid because Farid only came in at 137. So I imagine Farid Basharat will have a bit of a chip on his shoulder when he has to show up on fight night, because that's not cool if he did have to cut weight. Oh. Don't do this. Don't do this to the people again. He's looking at a chart. Oh, yes, here we go.
John Anik and standing by with his mic.
All right, our final athlete to weigh in this morning, the other half of the co-main event in the middleweight division, the number 13 ranked contender, Khamzat Chimaev.
What do you say?
Wow. 186, the
Wow.
official weight for Khamzat Chimaev.
There you go.
No problem.
All right, thank you all for coming out. We'll see you for the ceremonials later today. One more sleep.
And you guys were worried?
Still have to
Y'all
show
out
up.
there were worried? Come on now.
Thanks everyone for watching.
You guys are worried about Khamzat?
Ceremonial wins.
And now we're 100% guaranteed to see him on fight night as well? Come on, guys. I'm a little disappointed in the fans. The cynicism. You know, I'm the Prince of Positivity. I try to get you all to come along with me on this ride.
Is that
You guys are
186?
like 186 for Khamzat. Jose, I am going to send you one last graphic here so we can celebrate a beautiful, successful day of weigh-ins. Let me get this to you, sir. Then we can get this to the people. The good people of the world. All right. I will wait till this pops up, and then I will give you the rundown. No misses. Everything is good. Khamzat is going to fight Robert Whittaker on Saturday, guys. I don't know where you guys are going with that pick. He's never fought anyone as good at 185 as Robert Whittaker. Again, I'm not counting Kamaru Usman. I mean, I think Kamaru could be a great 185er, but that's really not what that fight was. That was a short notice booking for Kamaru to save a fight. And if that was down at 170, I don't know. Maybe it would have gone differently. If somehow Khamzat would have been asked to cut to 170 again, which, by the way, I think those days are over. I would hope so anyway. So I think many would agree this is his toughest test. And if he passes it, he should get a friggin' title shot.
Everyone keeps shaking my hand very hard though. They're like, good job. And I'm always like, ow.
So guys, if you're still hanging around, give me your Khamzat Whittaker predictions. I saw some earlier. I saw both sides. I saw some people saying Whittaker's going to knock him out. I saw some people saying Khamzat's going to run through him.
Exactly.
Who's going to take a bit? Okay.
No worries. I could just do a verbal rundown. Maybe let's do a verbal rundown.
2 seconds.
Because Jose, I think we can let you go unless you want to replay the some of the weigh-ins for people.
No, I would love to. It
Okay.
might be a bit though. Give me 2 seconds.
No worries.
See if I-
Let
see
me
if I
tell
can
people
try
that.
this.
No worries.
'Cause
Let me
for
tell
whatever
people.
reason, this way. Oh, there you go. Hold on.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. Look at that graphic. Okay. Before I read this graphic, guys, let me tell you guys all. Oh, I'm sorry. If you want to see, if you missed some of the main event weigh-ins, some of the big name weigh-ins, Jose Young is uploading those all to our socials, guys. Those will be on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. What's the other thing? I'm forgetting. Snapchat. I think we put that. Do we do that?
Nope. You do not.
Okay, we don't do that. My mistake.
Threads.
I overshot. MMA Fighting socials, guys. Okay, listen. Look up MMA Fighting Instagram, whatever social you like. YouTube again. Twitter. I didn't even mention Twitter. Twitter, of course, the weigh-ins are on Twitter. Jose will have those cut, uploaded for you again. So you don't need to go through this replay. There'll be a full highlight video on MMA Fighting. They'll have all the weigh-ins. But if you're just looking for Rob, if you're just looking for Khamzat, if you're just looking for Ilia, you're just looking for Max, it will be available to you. We will have a preview show as well later today. Let me figure out the timing here, people. I believe we'll have a preview show 1 Eastern time, 1 p.m. Eastern time, 10 a.m. Pacific. This will be. Why did I make myself do math? This will be. It's an 8-hour time difference, so this will be 1 p.m. minus 8, and if you're watching in Abu Dhabi. Sorry, guys, you'll have to figure that one out on your own. 3 a.m., 3 a.m., 5 a.m., 5 a.m. I did it.
Until you need to do it yourself.
5 a.m. in Abu Dhabi, guys, will be a preview show. So make sure to check that out. There will also be ceremonial weigh-ins. Let me tell you guys that as well. Guys, ceremonial weigh-ins will be at 10 a.m. Eastern time, so that's 2 a.m. local time in Abu Dhabi. This sounds crazy. I'm sure I'm getting these wrong. But you guys only care about, most of you I imagine care about Eastern time anyway, so you can extrapolate from there. 10 a.m. Eastern time ceremonials. 1 p.m. Eastern time for the MMA Fighting
what I said.
preview show. Let me do a little rain dance here. Let me see if you got any comments as well. Chimaev by dodgy decision. Come on. Whittaker third round. I like that. I like that. All right. Rain dance, guys, and then I think we're going to dip out of here. Ilia Topuria, Max Holloway, Featherweight Championship main event. Topuria's first title defense since his incredible knockout of Aleksandar Volkanovski. 145 for both fighters, championship weight, of course. Robert Whittaker weighed in 185.5, and we had to wait a while for his opponent, Khamzat Chimaev. But Khamzat Chimaev indeed made weight for this co-main event, 186 pounds. Light heavyweight contenders, Magomed Ankalaev and Aleksandar Rakic facing off. Ankalaev looking to make it something like 12, 13 fights unbeaten. Has to get a title shot, I imagine. Rakic theoretically able to slide in, even though he's coming off of 2 straight losses. I mean, one of them was an injury a long time ago, and one of them was more recent. But I guess if he beats Ankalaev, he might take his spot, which seems unfair, but the sport ain't about fairness. Either way, Ankalaev, 204.5. Rakic, 206. Shara Magomedov, Lerone Murphy, 145.5. Dan Ige, 146. Very big featherweight contest, I think, especially for Lerone Murphy. Shara Bullet, 185. Armen Petrosyan, 186. And the main backup for the main event, Diego Lopez, 145. Ibo Aslan, 205, fighting Rafael Sequeira, who came in at 203 for the prelim main event, if that's a thing, featured prelim. Geoff Neal, 171 for his fight with Rafael dos Anjos, 171. Mateusz Rebecki, 160. Myktybek Orolbai, 159. That's a 160-pound catchweight bout. Abus Magomedov, 185. Brunno Ferreira, 185.5. Kenny Nzechukwu, 241. Chris Barnett, 264. For that heavyweight bout, Farid Basharat, 137. Victor Hugo, 145.5. That bout changed to a featherweight bout at some point. We don't know when, but that is why Basharat is way under, and Hugo was able to weigh in 145.5, and apparently it's okay. Davos Sark asking, why would Basharat accept that fight? He wants to show up and get paid. He doesn't want the fight to get canceled. 2, I would hope that Hugo's team... unofficially, or maybe through, they can arrange it with the commission, give him some percentage of their purse, but maybe less than you would if you actually missed. And 2, I guess Farid could have stopped his weight cut earlier, so there might be a reason to do that. Again, it's a situation where the fighter who made weight or who was already on pace to make weight is kind of getting screwed, but if he wants to get paid and he doesn't want the fight to get canceled, he kind of has to accept this change. It's messed up. Ismail Nordiev, 185. Bruno Blindado Silva, 186. And then opening the prelims, Renat Fakhratinov, 171. And short notice newcomer, former PFL fighter, Carlos Leal, 169.5, guys. So that is the weigh-ins. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. There were some other questions I wanted to answer, but I think we are going to have to sign off soon. But again, you'll hear more from us. We're only 5 minutes left in the second weigh-in window. So you guys can hear more from MMA Fighting again. Preview show, 1 p.m. Eastern time. Look out for that. 10 a.m. Pacific. More goodness there. And stay tuned. Remember, guys, I should remind everyone. Early start time on Saturday. Of course, this is happening in Abu Dhabi. So that means, thank you. I tried to cut it off. How much of that sneeze did you catch?
0. I just saw it.
You exposing me. People, the prelims exclusively on ESPN Plus, 10 a.m. And then ESPN Plus pay-per-view main card at 2 p.m. Eastern time. This is all Eastern time, excuse me. I'm sorry to my other time zone people. So yeah, the first prelim, 10 a.m. up and early. And guys, maybe we are done with this card by like 6, 7, 8. Like maybe we can still enjoy our Saturday nights over here. Jose, I know you will be burning that midnight oil, and we will be here for you as long as you can, guys. Because we are here. He is here for you, the fans. We are here for you, the fans,
That's
and
right.
we'll be bringing that goodness all weekend. Jose, any parting thoughts before I dip here?
God bless. See you at the top.
God bless. God bless all of you. Take care, everyone.
Go Celtics. 74-8.